Okay, it says live. We are live.
Yes,
One,
we are.
one. So where does it say how many people are here?
Well,
It's
I saw it.
I'm looking on my
Oh,
phone.
there
It
it is. It's
said
next to
one.
it's on the top. It says live, top right of the screen. It says 0 people right now.
Okay,
So, well, because we're
3.
30 seconds, we're 30. Oh, now we got 3. Great.
Well,
Woohoo!
I'm looking at my phone.
No, it's showing in the above you.
Oh, I see it.
So,
All right.
yeah.
All
So,
right. So here we go.
awesome.
5 o'clock, live at 5. Let me just say, Laura, somebody else in the reselling community does a live at 5, and that person said, "Hey, nice name." And I said, "What? Are you really? You really have a broadcast called Live at 5?" And sure enough, he does. But he's also on. Sometimes he does 24 hours, so we might have to change the name. All right, so there you go.
All
Let's
right.
go,
Hey.
Angie. Thank you, Angie. Let's go. All right, Angie says we are on the clock for an hour. All right, because we're in competition. There's some other YouTube live reseller stuff starting.
Right now.
Probably in an hour or so. So
Oh,
you're
okay.
good. You're good. So all right. So here's the deal. This is our first live, and thankfully we're in here and haven't been kicked off or any freeze ups. So what we're going to do is we're going to be doing these lives and then also just posting them. They're going to be like reference material for anyone who couldn't get into the live. And what we're going to be doing is pretty much just ask Q and A's throughout about anything. Okay, anything, and we will answer it. If not, we will just skip over it and pretend we didn't see it. And then I'm going to be doing some like some mini hauls showing what I picked up either today or over the weekend, um, thrifting and sourcing. And then Lori's going to get into a lot of like technical eBay type of stuff and or business management of how to manage your reselling business. And then the last is we're just going to talk about scaling strategies. Now, every episode or every hour, every Monday that we're going to be on, we may not get to all these topics, but those are the 4 main topics that we're always going to focus on. So it really comes down to any questions that people may have and jump in. So what we will do is, Lore, for
Mm-hmm.
person
Yeah.
we have a question.
Oh,
You can
sorry.
bring it. Yeah, bring it up.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's been quite a while. It's been 31 years. So, yeah,
Yeah.
it's, I wouldn't change a thing.
Angie knows I have the mentality of a teenager, so I goof around. So it's fun. Uh, but yeah, that's a great question, and she answered it. So, but just to let you know, Angie, Lori is we both met during college. She's actually like a year and a half younger than me, but she was always more mature than I was. So I was like, this is amazing. I mean, this is great. I was not used to being around mature uh, girls at that time. So I like that, which I thought that was really cool to have that influence. So why don't we just get into this right now? So we don't want to get too much personal, even though because we're going to be posting this live. So I just want to have this content be great going forward. So Laura, if you can, okay, what I will do is I'm going to share a screen
Hmm.
and it should uh, pop up. Okay, it's the Pioneer. If you see that.
Oh,
No,
there
that's
you go.
no, that's okay. I'll do that then. That's the
Sorry.
Bose. Okay, that's the Bose. So today I picked these up. Um, these are at the bins. These are Bose headphones. Uh, okay, let's see here. These are Bose headphones. They're model TP1A, and yeah, that's a good one. Now these are just pretty ratty. Look at these ear pads. This is typical. You'll see these all over the place. And these ear pads, to replace them, are typically like $5 to $7 a pair, a set, to replace them.
If you get them in the United States.
If you get it, okay. So if you get them in China, how much are
They're
they?
less, like $3.
Okay,
maybe.
And how long did they take to get in?
Sometimes up to 2 months.
Oh, okay. So what we do is sometimes I'll grab these and say, they're going to need work. And this is when I'm sourcing out the bins, they're going to need work. What should I do? I mean, is it worth it? If they're only going to sell for $20, don't even bother. I mean, it's a waste. So let's go full screen.
Oh, go ahead.
I did. So what I will do is I'm going to go and scroll through this for everyone. So you could probably see the screen scrolling. The top one, check that out. They're used and they need new AirPads. $29, free shipping. Then I'm scrolling down, and this is what I did when I was in the field, out at the bins. I saw that one just had works great, needs new AirPads, $43. So I kept on scrolling down. Needs new AirPads, all that stuff. So here's one right here. And now this, can you see my mouse, Laura?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This one has new AirPads, and they're asking $69 with free shipping. So I'm like, why not? I mean, you definitely get them. So let's go. I'm going to go back. So we will go back to both of us in the screen. So I never turn these things down because it's a great brand. Most of the time they will work. Bose is a little finicky at times. We had all the cords, actually had a manual, and it also had the Bose bag that went through it. So at the time, I'm like, why not? So I got these, and I'm going to order the earpads. I can't even say earpad. I say AirPods. Earpads. So honestly, I will pay the $6 to $7 or whatever it is to buy them from the US and get them within a week. And they're easy to put on. They just pop off. I don't want to do it right there. Okay, right there. And they just clip them back on, and it's pretty easy. So right there, easy, 40 something bucks. Actually, you know what? I would put the new ear pads on and probably ask, I would say mid 50s, even though somebody got a little bit more, I would still do that. So I want to close out of this one. Stop share screen. Okay. And then I'm going to bring in another item that I picked up today. Share screen. Here we go. And this one's a remote. So I just want, what I like about remotes are they're small. They don't weigh anything. So when you're at the bin, why are you laughing, Laura?
Nothing. I'm not. Sorry.
I thought you were laughing at me. Are you reading the comments?
No.
Oh, okay. So these are good. So these remotes don't weigh anything. If I were to buy this at the bins, it would cost like 30 cents. They don't weigh anything. So I look up, and every remote has a model number. So I typically will look up every model number that I can on a remote. It's like a scratch off lottery ticket. I say this all the time. And after a while, you don't even need to look them up. You can't smile without sharing, Laura. What's going on over there?
Sorry.
Are people texting you? You're
No.
a liar. Okay. All right.
No, I was just laughing at your verb conjugation.
Yeah,
that's all.
Right. Okay.
No, it's true, because you're like R is.
Well, correct me. You can correct
No, I'm
me.
not going to correct you.
You were
No,
always
I'm not gonna
better in
correct you.
English than I was. And if there's a math problem, maybe I could answer that. So remote. So there you go. Check that out. $25. Buy it for 30. Sell it for 25 all day long. Casey, the Rockstar Flipper, he's selling like pallets of remotes, or actually like bundles for like $200. Now, most of his remotes, he actually said, are probably going to be in the low, maybe in the teen. I don't want to speak for him, but go check out his videos. Like he shows you what he does. This one, our criteria for buying remotes is it has to be over $20. And it's just because we have overhead and list, we pay people to list. So So when it's all said and done and we sell this, we'll probably net $8. Do you have something to contribute, Laura?
No, I'm just responding to a comment. That's all.
Oh, on the screen?
Mm-hmm. No, not on the screen.
Okay. Well, you can't.
Sorry.
You can't do that.
Huh?
You can't. That's not good etiquette.
Oh. Huh? I'm confused.
Yeah, we all see you active off the screen. So, hey, Peanut Gallery. Okay, let's bring some. Hey, Peanut Gallery. YouTube is crazy weird. Unsubscribe and subscribe again. It could help.
Okay. Sorry, you want to get back to your remote?
I'm done with the remote.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so anyway, so as I'll keep on going. So Laura, when I bring those things in, do you like those type of items?
I do, because they're not heavy to ship. They cost very little compared to what you can sell them for. They're very easy to list, and they're easy to store. They don't take up a lot of space.
Mm-hmm. And they're easy to what? Process,
right. Process, list, and ship. So they're always a home run. So
another thing about when you start sourcing, eventually you'll start to spot the same things, and they all work out well. So let's bring up another. I'm going to stop sharing that screen. I'm going to bring up another. Let's see. I'm going to share screen. Man, tripod's in the way. Bear with me. Here we go. Here's a lens that I got today. I'll bring that up. It's a Konica. I'm going to scroll and show you what most of these go for. Anywhere, see, check out this range. What I did was I sorted these by used and then buy it now. And just to give you a sense, because you could easily get knocked off your game if you're looking up comps and you see something that sells for $19. Now, here's one that sold for the reason is they sold it as is. That scares people away. So they're most likely this person, it just wanted to blow it out. So, but in reality, these lenses, if you look them up and you just make sure, and I'll show this, that there's no fungus or haze in there, there you go, $60, $70 plus shipping all day long. I love that. Those are fun. And why do you like these, Laura?
Same reason for the remotes. They're a little bit trickier to list because there's all sorts of information on there, but they're small, they're fairly light, they're fairly easy to ship, and they sell very often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally love it. Here we go. Kind of hard to see, a little blurry, but all this stuff around, all this white writing around, it will give you all the data about what this lens is. Lenses could be very tricky because you don't know if they fit Canon, Nikon, etc. So you just have to watch that. You have to be very careful. And what I do is I'll look these up and I will compare the sales history and make sure that what is shown in the photos matches exactly on the lens that I have. That almost guarantees that listing, which sold, is good to go. And I will open that listing and I will sell similar from that listing. And we'll get into exactly our process a little bit more. Laura, you have any nightmares about lenses?
No, I do remember one time I found a really nice one in the bins that sold for $1,300. And I can't believe nobody else had seen it. So that was like probably my best find. It was a while ago.
Yeah, I remember that day.
It was a Nikon.
In a box.
In a box. Like, yeah. I couldn't believe that nobody else had looked at it and scooped it up. Mm-hmm. So, I guess Angie or Dayton Valley Deals mentioned that she sold an old manual typewriter. So those definitely sell too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Very cool. I'm going to bring in, but she also made a comment. Laura, you want to bring that up? Just keep on going, scrolling and bringing people on.
Yeah, I'm not really sure which one you're referring to. So you can do it. Oh, okay. Well, she did have a question. I didn't know if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and just feel free to throw them out there. We'll get to them as we can. She is wondering, how does eBLISS handle big stuff if people have bigger electronics? Well, we do have a size and weight restriction to 6 pounds and 14 by. It has to fit in a 14 by 20 Ziploc bag, and actually you can fit a lot of pretty good, decent things in there. Probably not the typewriter, though. I think that'd probably be a little too big. So, but we do handle it as long as it fits in that bag. And we have a lot of experience shipping heavy things because we do that on our eBay sites, our eBay stores ourselves. So we certainly wouldn't exclude it as long as it does is not over 6 pounds and it fits in that bag.
Yeah. So 6 pounds, let's talk about that. Lori and I over the weekend, we were shipping on eBLISS. We were helping one of our shippers that comes in Monday. We knew that on eBLISS we had, how many went out over the weekend on eBLISS?
I think it was a record of 118.
Okay. All right. So 118 eBLISS packages went out. So Lori and I jumped in on Sunday and we did some shipping. Just to give you a sense of what things weigh, there is an Xbox, okay? Xbox Slim, they're called. It's not huge, but that thing weighed 7 pounds. Now, it's from one of our clients that we knew was going to send in some heavier items. But so, yeah, reel to reels are probably 20 pounds, 25 pounds. So that kind of stuff, no. So it's a good question. We don't really,
Right.
As long as it fits in a 14 by 20 inch Ziploc bag and it's under 6 pounds, we can handle it. And we have the ability to send things FedEx as well. We will bubble wrap, pack, styrofoam, peanut, the whole bit.
Right.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
There's another question by.
Yep. Whoops, sorry. Sorry, clicked it too much. Clicked it twice. As a new eBayer who does free shipping, I don't have the knowledge of shipping costs. Good question. Is there any way for me to access the info so I can price my items correctly? That is a great question, and new eBayers always struggle with that. And basically, we did it by trial and error over time, and just by doing so many over and over and over. The one thing I can say is, you just kind of have to separate it. We separate things by first class, which is 16 ounces and under if you're buying your label on eBay, or over 16 ounces or a pound. Would normally, that has to go priority mail if you're sending it through the post office. But if it gets to the point about maybe 5 pounds or so or above, sometimes it makes more sense to send that through FedEx or UPS. But just to give an idea, I do believe UPS has a rate chart for their first class. So depending on the zone where it's going. So what we do is basically kind of assume it's going to go to the farthest place, like the farthest zone. I think that's like $5.66, even though I hear things are going to change soon.
Mhm.
So you can kind of gauge, like, if this weighs under a pound, that's like the most it probably should cost to ship. Now, when it gets over that level, that's when it gets a little tricky. But you do always have to weigh your items, have a sense of what they weigh, have a sense of what the final shipping packaging will look like. And then you can have a better idea of that. We actually have, our shippers are so experienced and do such a good job that they have basically compiled, a chart that we actually could share with our clients and with anybody who wants to have it, that gives a general idea of if it's this and it fits in this bag and if it's over this pound, and then it's like a little matrix, and it's super helpful. So Soulmates Boutique, I could probably share that with you, and I think that would be super helpful because then you'll know ahead of time what you could be charging.
Yeah, I think we should clean that up a little bit, Laura, and just at least put our info on that matrix, because the matrix, it's not just one sheet, right? It's many, right?
Well,
it depends on where you are.
Well, actually, we have two. We have one that's very in depth, and it depends on where the item is going based from here.
Okay.
So it depends on where it's going in the United States, because our clients don't know where that's going to end up. That's not as useful. That's super useful for when you're shipping. There's this other more general matrix that we have that we probably, like you said, I agree, we could probably update that a little bit and make it a little bit more useful. And I think it would be useful though.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we should take a look at that because it not only does that benefit us at eBLISS, but it could also benefit any eBay seller.
Yeah.
I really think we should. Now, this is the I'm going to say the problem, but when you throw that kind of stuff out there publicly,
Yeah.
you're going to get somebody in wherever scrutinizing and saying I wouldn't do that and I wouldn't do that. So you have to you have to treat it with kid gloves, like just kind of like, hey, just take it for what you want. This is what our research has shown, and you throw it out there, and that's the whole good thing about the reselling community. It's really to benefit everyone. Why? I mean, seriously, why are you going to keep a secret like that from other eBayers? While we're at it. So here's a great question for you, Laura.
Yep. Don't do free shipping. Always use calculated shipping. That is like the perennial argument or the perennial debate amongst resellers. So it really depends on your comfort level. It depends on your knowledge. It depends on what you sell. Some people are very successful doing only free shipping. Some people are very successful doing only flat shipping. And some people are fine doing calculated shipping. No one way works for everybody. And that's what makes eBay great. So yeah, I mean, a lot. Oh, go ahead, Dave.
No, I was going to say one, and that's true. But is that true for all size, packages like FedEx and USPS? Like, because I think a lot of because we sell small items like lenses. What's the most this could cost?
If it's under a pound, I think it's $5.66 or something, somewhere about that.
So assuming it was 16 ounces, that would cost the most. So I look at it this way. I think I wouldn't overanalyze it. I would just say like, hey, assume $5. Always assume the max based on what you think it would fit into, and just bake that into the price if you're going to do free shipping. That's
right. I mean, calculated shipping can work for sure. And one interesting thing about calculated shipping actually is you can choose as an eBayer to pass along the savings or the discounts that you would receive as the eBay seller. So, excuse me, and that's a setting in your account that you have to choose or click off or click on. So the buyer will see one rate and you actually charge a different rate if you don't click off to pass along those discounts. So for small stuff, I mean, I know some people who use that to kind of pay for their fees. The difference pays for their the final value fee. When it's a small item, it's probably not that noticeable. But if you start getting up into FedEx and UPS, I bet you that it might kind of be like, that seems like that's really high, like the shipping rate. Right. And honestly, personally, for me, I feel like that could deter people from buying your item if the shipping is too much for them to handle. But that's only if you're competing with a whole bunch of other people for the same item. You sell one-offs, you have the only thing on eBay that is, they're going to pay it no matter what, probably, if they want it. So like I said, it really depends on what you sell and how you sell and your comfort level and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So, keep on talking. I'm going to share another screen.
Okay, go ahead. Feel free.
I'm doing my best. I said keep on talking.
Oh. So, so I mean, we do a mix of both. But except we don't do calculated shipping. And the other, I mean, calculated shipping is good for newbies because you can't really mess that up in a way unless you completely mess up your measurements or your dimensions and your weight. Unless you mess that up, then you can't really you can't lose too much money unless you don't do it, right. But once you get the hang of it, I just find that in free and flat shipping is easier to list because you don't have to know what the actual end up box is going to look like and all this stuff. And once you get to a volume level, that's really not a feasible option for most people because you can't store your item in the box that's going to ship if you've got 4,000 of them.
So the people that are in the chat now, I know they're all on eBay. I think they're only on eBay. But just to share with you guys, eBLISS, we have a lot of clients that sell on Poshmark and in other Mercari and all others, Facebook Marketplace. And they're on those platforms primarily, I would say, because it's easier to list, and they don't have to think and learn shipping. So that's what the crazy thing is. A lot of sellers out there don't want to go to eBay because they have to learn essentially shipping. They have to learn the USPS guidelines and weights and all this stuff and surcharges and FedEx and UP, all this stuff. It's enough to really turn people off. And so people would be like, it's too much of a headache. And plus they, I have to ship everything out within 24 hours. That's what eBay wants. And that's true. That's what eBay wants. So there's a lot of hurdles or, barriers to get into eBay. So I'm all about eBay because that's where I believe the money is made. There's 187 million buyers on eBay as opposed to some other platforms that get a little crazy. It's, as far as lower amount of buyers. So that's the thing. And that's, with eBLISS, we are making that easier for people to enter into eBay and not have to worry about the shipping. And that's what we do. I think I posted something on Instagram over the weekend. I think it was a story, not a post, but I should probably post that as a real post so it stays out there. And it was a matrix that says, as an eBLISS client, if something fits in this type of bag and is under this weight, most likely it should go like USPS Regional A. If it's not, I think that was awesome. I think we should definitely share that as a post. Before I get into the next haul item, I want to bring this up.
Yeah. I guess we answered a question that you had, which was great. And she asked do you think if customers would get upset if you sent FedEx instead of UPS? Interesting that you would ask that because that has actually happened to us in the past. Now, the interesting thing about sending FedEx or UPS is you can't send it to a PO box. Now, this was a very interesting situation. Oh my word. You're not supposed to be able to send it to a PO box if you send it through those two carriers, but somehow we did. Oh, and it was such a disaster. So you have to be really careful if you're switching up what you say in the listing versus what you're going to send, because they might have expected that. So you do have to be a little bit careful about that. But
and this was on our own reselling.
Oh yes, right.
This is not eBLISS.
It's not on eBLISS.
And what exactly was it, and what share the details, because it is.
Well, it was an AT&T microcell. And I learned a lot about eBay and FedEx. We were using FedEx at the time. I learned a lot about eBay and FedEx because you were using essentially eBay's FedEx account when we ship directly through eBay through FedEx. Same with UPS, I assume. So they have a lot of restrictions on that account, and you can't change an address. You can't redirect a package. You can't do anything. I don't know how I did it, but somehow, I had to go through so many hoops with people at eBay to get the package delivered to an address because it was originally going to a PO box. And at the end of the day, I think I ended up sending her a second one directly, and she ended up getting both, and I refunded her for the whole thing. I mean, it was just such a disaster. Mm-hmm. But to answer the question, yes, you have to. I don't think they'll get upset unless that something like that happens. So yeah, you do have to be careful. One way to avoid that, though, is to not have a very specific carrier picked, but you can't do that if you're doing calculated shipping, right? So if you want to have the leeway, and this is actually, I think, a great idea. If you want to have the most amount of leeway to ship it, however is the most economical and cheapest, right? Because there can be a lot of difference between the three main, the carriers. You should pick standard shipping. This allows you to pick any of them because you haven't specified a specific carrier. Now, that only works with free and flat shipping because in order for calculated shipping to work, they're going to have to know which one you're going to use. So that's one way around that if you're willing to not do the calculated part of it. But yeah, you can save a lot of money. I mean, we run into situations all the time that, it's $40 to send through USPS and like $15 to send you UPS. So, but then again, I'm sorry if I'm rambling. You stuck me anytime, Dave. Oh, okay. then there's the other thing. Well, if you already have a USPS pickup coming, now you got to drop something off to UPS or FedEx. So if that's not convenient for you, then maybe it doesn't make sense to do that. Maybe it makes sense to pay another couple bucks to have USPS pick it up because they're picking up all your other stuff anyway. So these are all the, these are the tricky things about shipping on eBay that you got to learn in order to, do it right.
So while we're on shipping, let's keep on going. Okay. Soulmate says, shipping was the part that stopped my early on.
She meant me.
Stopped me early on. Yeah. Okay. Oh, me. Oops. Okay. So yeah, we all make mistakes early on. There's no doubt about it. And you hear the stories all the time, how people sell something for $100 and they only charge $15 to ship when it really cost them $45. And then, hey, that's the learning process. It's okay. I mean, you just have to, you learn. It's fine. So I don't know what is meant by this, Laura. And it only works if you create a new listing.
Sure. She was saying that if you sell similar standard shipping option, I'm not really sure if that's the reason. I think it's if you have calculated shipping that was in there, that's why it doesn't come up. But I could be wrong.
Okay, so if you sell similar to standard shipping option, doesn't always show up.
If the previous, if calculated shipping came in from that original listing, that's why it's not coming up. I'm pretty sure. You switch calculated to, even if you have free. If you're doing free shipping, you have to change it from calculated to flat, and then you'll see those options. I'm pretty sure.
That's why I always say eBay is like calculus, and all the other platforms are like basic algebra. I mean, if you can learn eBay, go into these other ones. Although you're not going to get as much for selling price and as many buyers on the platform, it's a lot easier to understand. Plus, they do the shipping label for you. Poshmark, Mercari, they already generate it for you, so you don't have to learn. So, okay, I'm going to share the screen here. Boom, boom. All right, let's get the comment off. All right, so I picked this up today, and shame on me. I was lazy. Why are you laughing?
Because you said shame on me.
I don't know why. Look at this.
They aren't selling like they used to, are they?
Nope. And I was lazy and I didn't even look it up.
Oh yeah, that'll sell. And you're like, oh no, that's not what I thought.
So as I'm scrolling, I sorted these by most recently sold and buy it now. So these are all legit prices. These are not auctions that are going to skew anything. These are not sold back in June. Look at this, August 16th, August 15th.
Wow.
I know. I just looked this up. I'm like, okay, it's okay to mess up every once in a while. Right. I bought it for $1. Is it?
You got a power cord. Did you get the Ethernet and the DSL cable?
I had the power cord and everything. Actually, I assume I'm still on.
Yeah.
All right. Where is it? Okay, there it is. This is key. I got it all. I mean, the Ethernet, I have a bunch. Jello cords, as we call them. So look at that. I mean, what used to be this is a CenturyLink C1100Z model. I don't even have to look anymore. I mean, I see it. I'm like, I grab it, and it's like, oh, power cord, DSL green cord, and we add the yellow.
What did those used to sell for?
$49.
Yeah, right. They must have come out with a better, even a better model. That's why the older ones probably aren't as useful.
So when I do see these, it's like, how do you say no? It doesn't weigh anything. It's like $1, $2.
Oh, to buy, right? But to ship.
To ship, it would cost. What would it cost?
That's probably going to be. That's going to be on the cusp of £1 by the time you wrap it and put everything in there. So it's going to be priority mail. If you can get it into a padded flat rate, it's under $8. But I think they can get in a padded flat rate. But what if you can't? What if it's slightly big? Some of those are a little squarer than rectangle. So I can't tell which one that is. But
right.
It's iffy.
Yeah, this would fit into a padded flat rate. So $8, let's just say. But if it doesn't fit into a padded flat rate, then what? How would you ship it?
You'd have to ship it priority. straight priority. Putting in a flat rate wouldn't make any sense because it's not heavy enough. So it probably would maybe go up to like $10, depending on where it goes. So I don't know if you're only selling it for $30 and you're gonna spend $10 to ship. I don't know.
Yeah. So once again, it's just like things change. And I know in fashion, that's why we were so spoiled with electronics, because fashion, you have to, flared jeans. I don't even know if that's a term, but flared jeans may have been popular last year, but now they're not. So I'm just bringing this up. Isn't first class actually 13 ounces and under?
Only at the UPS retail counter. If you buy your label on eBay, it's 16 ounces and under.
Oh, man, that's Laurie's pro tip right there. Also, or should we call it did you want to call it
the eBay nerd tip?
Right. You said it, not me.
I know.
But that's a great question, because a lot of eBay sellers say, I don't sell a ton. I don't want to really learn how to use the eBay labels. I'm just going to take it to the post office, and the guy or gal behind the counter is going to tell me exactly how it's going to be, how much it's going to be. And what they do is they get a tracking number and then they enter it into eBay. So, if you're doing heavier volume on eBay, you definitely should use the eBay label.
Not only that, you're not going to get any discount at all, I don't believe, at the counter. And then that 3 ounce difference probably makes a big difference, especially because a lot of times you'll list something, you're like, oh, this should be 14 ounces or whatever. But by the time when you go to list it or ship it, it's now almost 16 ounces because your padding and your bubble mailer or whatever has added some weight. And so that could make a big difference, I would say. So
yeah, it does have. They do pass on a discount, so it's good. So there you go. It's 16 ounces versus 13, big difference.
Yeah.
So this is like the nerd talk that we will do once a week, but people like that. I should say some people like that.
Right.
I get a little bored with it.
I know, me too.
Yeah. So back to just general sourcing. Once you get into a groove and get into like, hey, my niche is electronics, my niche is fashion tops, my niche is men's polo shirts. I never knew that was even a niche, but some of the people we've spoken to, Laura, they're just like, hey, this is what I do. There's a lot of product out there. I live in Arizona. There's a lot of Under Armour shirts. There's a lot of Nike sport golf shirts, that kind of stuff. That's a great niche. And some of those items do sell for mid-20s. And just to share with the viewers, what Laurie and I sell, we sell mainly pre-owned electronics, and our average selling price is anywhere from $40 to $50 typically. And we have just under 4,000 items listed. We have 2 accounts. You could bring them up. Oh, perfect timing. Look at that. You were prepared. You did your homework. So it goes to show, like, when you talk about niches, everyone feels like, I'm going to start reselling. I have to find my niche. That's not the case. I think it took years. It probably took 6-7 years before you and I found our niche, which works for us, which was plentiful, which was the electronics and things with model numbers easy to look up, and things that were plentiful. And if you think about it, like, we're in Denver, are we going to get a lot of Tommy Bahama shirts?
Probably not. Probably not.
Or like Hobie board shorts or Oakley board short? Probably not.
No, because that's not what people are donating.
Yeah. Right. So you have to base it on your geography, where you're located. So I see a lot. Like there's people out here that do Western wear. They find a lot of pearl snap shirts, where somebody in New Jersey, I didn't know what a pearl snap shirt was until I moved out to Colorado. But if somebody in New Jersey was going to some type of event where that was the style, they're not going to be able to find that in New Jersey or at a thrift store. So where are they going to go?
They go to eBay. Right.
And if they buy it from us, they'll get it within 3 days, 3 to 5 business
Right.
days.
Yeah.
Uh,
Here's
yeah.
a good sourcing, interesting perspective from different areas, the same items in different areas of the country. So that's very interesting. Like you can have the same exact items being priced very differently in different parts of the country. So she just
Yeah.
clarified that
She finds items that I'm currently selling for $53 and it's on the rack for $58 on sale. Oof.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you're not going to source too much down there then.
Right. So that's the thing. Like, and your niche may change over time. If all of a sudden Lori and I, if half of what we sold were those routers that I just brought up, and our pricing went from $49 down to like 24, we would have to replace that product line with something new.
Right. Yeah.
So that's why like my thumbs are gonna get so arthritic because I'm just like bum 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 bum. I'm like this all the time, not playing Candy Crush or anything. I am looking up all the time. And I've been doing that for 8 years. And sometimes my hands hurt. There's no doubt about it. But I am definitely learning so much where when I source, I don't even have to look things up. It's like boom, 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 make a pile. Let's get out of here. And, even like, for example, just to share, I do source mainly when I go sourcing, it's at the Goodwill bins. I do go to flea markets and I do have people purchase things for us. But the great thing is when you do the homework and look things up, it makes sourcing so much easier when you're out and about and just grabbing things. Otherwise, when you're looking things up at a flea market, it could get a little awkward when they're like, "Oh, this guy sells on eBay. I'm going to charge him a lot." I was there. So there's a technique to doing it. You have to hold your phone down low and pretend you're tying your shoe every once in a while.
I don't even bother. I have no shame. I really don't.
You don't like going out to the flea markets at all, do you?
I don't like it as much as you do. That's for sure.
So a quick story. Lori and I, we usually twice a year we go to Phoenix, for business. Let's call it business, and we go to a flea market down there. And there's one booth that we go to, and he has a lot of items that we like. And first off, every time we go there, it's like 110 degrees, and we are just dripping. Well, dripping. It's a dry heat, but you're still sweating. Yeah. And we make piles upon piles of stuff, and we play good cop, bad cop, and where Lori's the bad cop, I'm the good guy. Like, oh, hey, so and Lori comes over and he goes through each item. He's not like the type of person be like, oh, that's a nice big pile. How about 350? What do you think? He goes through each item and writes them down, which is fair. And so he'll hold up a pair of Maui Jims or something, and he goes 20, and Lori goes, let me see your face. How do you do it?
Let's see.
That's
I don't know. Is that it?
You go something like that. He goes, okay, fine. It's kind of like the movie. It's kind of like the movie The Wedding Singer, when they were going to buy the cake, and Adam Sandler goes to the lady, I know you gave the Lombardi's a better price on that, and she goes, all right, fine. And so. So Lori gives the Adam Sandler look like, and he goes, all right, fine. So it is pretty fun. It's great going out there, even though you don't like that aspect of sourcing.
It's okay, not as much as you do. That's for sure. Like it's just not. I don't know. It doesn't get me like excited the way it does for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Angie says, me too, but I get so much free because I tell people I resell. That's good. That's true.
Yeah.
They know it's a lot of work. So no one wants to resell. That's true. That's true. And so if you do have people know that you resell, it's like, hey, you know what? Let me just, give her all this stuff. And yeah, it's fun. There's no doubt about that. So yeah, back to this. So today I was just, scrolling through the bins. Nice Maui Jim sunglass case. Of course, immediately I pick it up, I shake it, and then I look at, and it's empty. But look, this is like brand new. It's awesome. And I know that I'm going to get Maui Jims either at a flea market or at the bins or at a thrift store. So what we do is, Lori and I, in our reselling business, we have a bin, a drawer full of designer or sport sunglass cases. So this adds probably $15 to the price of a pair of sunglasses. So if you have the space and you have the ability to spot this stuff, just grab it, toss it aside, and stockpile them.
Or if you get a whole bunch of them, like we've done this with Ray-Ban cases, you could lot them up and sell them as a lot, just empty. Mm-hmm. And other resellers will buy them because they're like, oh, I sell those. I need the cases. That works too.
Take a guess what it smells like.
All
right. I don't want to embarrass
I don't
know. Somebody's pocketbook. It smells like somebody's like,
Oh, like perfume or something?
No, what's that cover-up stuff called?
Powder? Foundation. Yeah. So I just wanted to share regarding sourcing. Soulmates Boutique says she's got somebody in Florida sending me their clothes and sending them to Goodwill. That's a great idea. That's a great way to get inventory. I mean, you don't necessarily have to list it all, but you could always list the good stuff, especially if it's free. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, no doubt. So, okay, here's the comedy section of the night. I was at Goodwill. Do you want me to stop sharing? Oh, you could do it. I was at Goodwill over the weekend, and someone handed me a Halloween mask. Okay. And Lori's going to bring it up.
Oh, so not that.
No. Ready? I posted this on.
Can you hear it?
What is that? Frankenstein? No, Dracula.
Play it again. I can never get enough of that. Let's go back.
What is that? Frankenstein? No, Dracula.
I love that. So,
and there's the for sale version, right? That's what that is.
Yeah. So what looks like, a cheap Halloween mask, it actually was it's elusive concepts. Is they make good quality masks. I looked them up. 170. I mean, it's almost just under $200. And with Halloween coming up, there's no doubt this will sell for $200. It's just stuff. What were you gonna say?
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, but the key is that you can't let that sit in your death pile. That's timely.
That's true. So that has
to forget that you bought it.
Yeah, that has to be listed within the next week or so.
Yeah.
So this is the fun part about reselling. Now, when resellers source throughout the year, they always punish themselves and say, "Look, I have a death pile." And for those that don't know what that is, it's pretty much unlisted inventory that you purchased that you knew passed your criteria or met your criteria and passed the test for as far as profitability, but you're not energized to list it. You're just like kind of like, I'll get around to it. It's going to take 10-15 minutes to research and measure and clean.
Not necessarily not energized, but just sometimes you have too much. You have too much inventory for time to list it, and so it piles up. Some people call them profit piles. If you want to look at it from a positive standpoint. But yeah.
Yeah. Last year, just to share with you guys, Lori and I last year we shipped out on our reselling business alone, not eBLISS, just under 10,000 items. So if you do the math, we had 10,000 sales last year during a turbulent time in our economy, but people were still shopping online. And the reason why we had so many sales were because we had the listings up. We had, I think it was like, I don't even know. I don't call it like 3,000 listings up, but we had, these money piles, these death piles. We had a surplus of inventory that we just didn't have the labor, the listers to do it for us. But we knew that eventually it would work out. So last year we had probably $40,000 of unlisted inventory just sitting in our warehouse. and it wasn't in bags. It was nicely stored, at least I think, but it just needed to be processed and listed. And so that's a good thing. If you have a death pile or a profit pile or whatever you want to call it, it's good. It's okay. Don't punish yourself and say I can't go sourcing because I need to list this death pile. I always say don't. Just keep on sourcing. And if you want to train somebody locally to list for you, it's probably the best thing to do to eventually get that profit pile, death pile listed. So I'm all about sourcing constantly. I can never turn it off because I get such a rush from it. Even though Lori doesn't, last year she was like, it's actually kind of a good idea. You had all this stuff. I'm like, oh, you didn't like it when I was getting it, but
it worked out well. But it worked out well, but it can be frustrating to see it pile up and think that, you're always behind. You're never on top of it. But in that case, it actually worked out well because there was 2 months, I think, that you couldn't source at all. So, it worked out in that regard.
Yeah, I want to, for the upcoming episodes, I want to take a video of our warehouse, our reselling business warehouse, which we call Colorado Surplus Brokers, and it's comprised of 2 eBay accounts that each account has close to 2,000 listings. I just want to show, I want to show like our viewers like that it's not beautiful, but like half of the warehouse is clean, orderly, and all the items that are listed are ready to go. And there's an area that's the death pile, the death wall, where it's like, yeah, I might have a reel-to-reel like Angie knows. I might have a VCR combo that sells for $100 that I didn't list yet because I'm not jazzed up to. But that kind of stuff looks ugly, but it's still, once you get it listed into the bins, it converts. And our conversion rate, just to share with everybody, we sell our items every 3 to 5 months. Is that about right, Laura? Or turnover rate?
I don't know it in those terms. I only know it in percentages.
20%. Close to 20%, which is every 3 months. So yeah, just look at it that way. It's like, you have stuff listed. It's going to take 3 to 5 months to flip, but look at how much you purchased it for, and look at the end result. It's worth it. So keep on sourcing. Don't give up. Don't get bored. Don't get discouraged. And sourcing is investing in your business. It's not spending money. And many people say, "Oh, I can't list because I can't source because I have to list to make the sales to get the money to go purchase." That may be the case, and that's okay. Everyone's in a different position, but look at it as an investment. Those things that are listed on eBay, just consider it a savings account, cash in the bank, making 0%. I mean, nobody's making money in cash in a bank these days. So look at your listed inventory as a savings account. You need money. That stuff is already paid for that you listed, and blow it out. I mean, even if you're not going to get top dollar, it's fine. So that, let's see. Okay, there you go. So Angie has one more reel-to-reel to list. Now, I wish we had volume because Angie would be like, I know Angie's very animated and enthusiastic when it comes to this stuff. She's like, it's a reel-to-reel. How do you pass it up? You get it for $5. You could sell it for $200. Those things weigh close to 30.
Yeah,
30 pounds.
Right. I just want to cut in real quick about the shipping. You can tell them about the clip speakers that you just shipped not too long ago. That's a really great tip when you've got stuff that's super heavy or fragile or whatever, and that you're like, I don't know if I can do this.
So Angie, check this out. Rather than Frankenbox these items, which is taking boxes that aren't good sizes and over taping and bubble wrapping and holding your breath, here's a 27 pounds, but I got it figured out. I got to bring that up. 27 pounds. Oh, there we go. So here's a great tip. And I'm doing this from now on. A friend of mine told me about this. He does this with FedEx. I found a pair of Klipsch speakers that were 22 pounds each, a set. They were from the 1980s, and they were in good, clean condition. I tested them out, surprisingly. Yeah, I tested them out. You know,
You did.
I did. And Lori saw me. She was so proud. I was like, hey, okay, good. Now I could sell it and have peace of mind that they work. We listed them $700 or something. Like, let's just say people paid $600 or something for it. And these are nice. These are like a piece of furniture. I said, you know what? And somebody bought it, and I charged $70 shipping and $600 something for them. And then somebody purchased them, and I was dreading packing it, and I really didn't want to. And all of a sudden, I actually found a couple boxes that it could have fit in, and I started to do it. I said, no way. And I took them both to UPS. Now, anyone could do this. We have a commercial account with UPS, but I took, Lori wants to jump in, but you're going to.
No, I was just going to, okay, go.
I took them to UPS, and I got our commercial UPS rate on that. I think we get 30% off, or let's just call it like that, maybe a little bit more, whatever. But I had to pay retail for them to pack them, and it was only $22 each speaker for them to pack them. And the way they pack them is they have this kind of like spray foam bag, so they put it in a box and they fill this bag up, so it's kind of like a molded thing around this. So Angie, I highly recommend, if you're going to sell something for 27 pounds, I would take it to UPS or FedEx and have them do it for $25. And now the thing is, you can print out that label on eBay and bring in that label and have them put it on the box, or you could purchase the label through them. It'll be a little bit more, but don't use their service, use their packing service. $22, highly recommend it. It'll get there. The best thing is the buyer's going to receive it, and they're going to be impressed. They're going to be like, this was taken care of.
Right. But Dave, aren't they responsible for it if it gets there broken, or no?
I would assume so. I mean, I didn't read fine print, but.
Yeah, I think that's what I've heard. Like, it's on them, like if for damage, then because you paid them to do it right. And if it breaks while it goes there, then you go through them. So it's okay, Angie. I apologize. I want to take back what I said a couple of weeks ago and be like, stay away from those reel-to-reels. Go for them now. I changed my mind. If you're getting them for $5 and you're going to pay UPS or whatever $25 and eBay fees and then the shipping, okay, let's just say all in your costs are going to be what, $70, and you're selling something for $250. It's worth it. So definitely go for it. I love it. So here's a plug. Follow us on Instagram, please. Our Instagram is somewhat entertaining. I'm the entertaining value add. I taught everybody how to eat chicken wings last night on my Instagram story. Angie liked it. Angie, come on, I gotta pop this up. Sorry, go ahead.
She ignored us anyway. She ignored me anyway. That's fine. That's fine. I don't blame you. But follow us on Instagram, and what we'll continue to do on our Instagram is obviously in the stories. We're going to be kind of like entertaining. Letting you see our lives, letting you see what eBLISS is about, letting you see, whatever. I'm just going to share whatever. And then we'll make posts about things that could inspire you, enlighten you, and just encourage you and educate you, all that stuff. And we're not holding back. There's no secrets that resellers should have and keep to themselves. I find that poor, and I find that self-serving. That's enough of me preaching. That's all I'm going to say. Seriously, Laura, I mean, you and I did it. We went from me finding something and selling it for, $15 on eBay and being thrilled to selling 10,000 items last year with an average selling price of $40 to $50. Now, did we pocket all that? No, because we invested in our business. But, sometimes you need to invest in your business and have the supporting staff to make your life better, so you can work on your business and not in it.
And possible even, I mean, we couldn't possibly do all that work ourselves. It gets to the point where you have to have other people help you one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. No, and it starts small. Some people have a virtual assistant that they could use. Some people have a neighborhood high school kid that comes over and does their listing. It doesn't matter. I think it starts with identifying that you need to invest in your business and in yourself and in your time. Because as a reseller, the best thing is you could do it all. And there's very little cost associated with it. But then eventually it starts to feel like a job, and then it's not worth it. So definitely consider that. So we are approaching an hour. We are definitely going to keep these lives to an hour. Every Monday, we're going to strive for it. We are changing the name from Live at 5 because somebody from Philadelphia by the name of Paul has a live, and he's a gentle giant, but he's twice my size, so I don't want to get him upset. I'm just kidding. No, he's fine. It's just we're going to change the name. So we're going to like chit chat on Monday nights, and we're just going to chat about our weekend, what we sourced, and how we ship.
Yeah, and maybe we'll have a guest on here or there too. So
Definitely.
Might have surprises. So thank you so much for those who joined us. Awesome.
Aww,
Oh,
very nice.
thank you, Angie.
Angie's a good sport. She is appreciative. And
all right. Yeah.
Dive at 5.
Oh gosh, we'll see. We'll see. We'll figure it out this week. All right.
So
Have a good
everybody.
evening, everybody. Thank
All
you.
right.
We'll see you later next week. Bye.